Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2025, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 and Viksit Bharat at 2047 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today, we are commemorating World Curlew Day in US, which is observed on April 21st by various environmental organizations to raise awareness about the problems faced by curlews. Curlews are a group of birds comprising 9 species from genus Numinus. Long, slender, down-curved bills and mottle brown plumage are characteristics that can easily help identify the bird. Mary Colwell started this day in 2017 as a grassroots initiative to help protect the species. The plight of the bird is mostly man-made, and it is our responsibility to make the planet a safe for not just humans, but also for all other living beings as well. About 4.5 billion years ago, the Earth began its existence on a hot mess, gradually cooled for over a billion of years. Fossil evidence points to the existence of life around 3.5 billion years ago. From then on, evolution shaped the nature, size, behaviors of every species into the forms we see today. But this is not the end. The upcoming years will witness the revolution of various species, but upcoming years will also witness the extinction of some of our beloved species due to human activities, including humans in coming decades. So save various species from extinction. Various laws are made, organizations are created, and campaigns are run, but the root cause of the problem is always human greed for more and will not decrease easily. One such species that need our immediate help is a curlew. Habitat loss and predation of eggs and young birds are the major causes of reduction of curlew numbers. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, estimates it to 20 to 30% reduction in curlew breeding numbers in the past 15 years. If the condition of the birds had not improved in the coming years, we might lose the entire species within 8 years. So curlews are migratory birds. The UK is an important country for curlew, housing around a quarter of the world's breeding population. We consider curlew the most important priority for conservation, with us starting to change a bright future for amazing birds is still possible. Today is also commemorated as Tuna Rights Day, which is observed on April 21st every year to raise awareness about the importance of tuna and tuna-like fish in our ecosystem. They are not just nutrient-rich food sources, but also an integral part of the marine food chain. Due to heightened demand for tuna for human consumption, the tuna population is being depleted at unsustainable levels. World Tuna Day has been celebrated. Tuna has been fished and consumed by these people for thousands of years. One of the first mentions of tuna was in 350 BC. There are over dozen species of tuna. This availability of different species spurred the establishment of tuna fisheries across the world, wherever certain species were most abundant. By early 1900s, humans were trying to perfect the process of canning fish. Initial attempts to can sardines were popular. So Albert P. Haffing is the co-founder of the South Carolina Fish Company decided to switch them out of Albuquerque tuna. Canned tuna became a near instant hit with consumers after its sale began in 1904. By the 1930s, albacore tuna were nowhere to be found, seemingly disappearing from the coast of California altogether, thus forcing fishermen to look for tuna supplies elsewhere. During the Second World War, tuna boats were used to deliver supplies, and the US had begun shipping canned tuna to American soldiers stationed in other countries. Today, overfishing has been recognized as a major threat to the ecological stability of the world. The rapid consumption of tuna now threatens to disrupt the marine food chain. Skipjack yellowfin, Atlantic bluefin, southern bluefin, Pacific bluefin, big eye albacore tuna were recognized as being either overexploited or endangered in a 2007 United Nations report. There is also commemorated as Thank You for Libraries Day, US, celebrated on 21st April annually to appreciate the contribution of libraries to society and their roles in transforming lives. First systematically organized library in the world date back to 7th century BC. Libraries are a collection of materials, books, of media that are occasionally by the people. Between the 19th century and late 20th century, the number of public libraries drastically increased with the support of philanthropists and businessmen, including John Passmore Edwards, Henry Tate, Andrew Carnegie, and Bill and Melinda Gates. In the 21st century, libraries moved from only physical offering to physical collections to providing access to digital resources, including ebooks and internet services. It is also commemorated as National Surprise Drug Test Day in US on April 21st. It's a well-known fact among marijuana users that April 20 is National Marijuana Day or National Weed Day when authority figures caught on this day after April 20 unofficially became Surprise Drug Test Day in offices and homes. This has led to debates about the ethics of conducting surprises, mandatory drug tests for employees, and so on. So National Surprise Drug Test Day began as an answer to another unofficial day called National Marijuana Weed Day, which occurs every year on April 20, when the parents and campaign taught on so this has become when parents and companies caught on the fact that April 20 was Marijuana Day, they would carry out drug tests on their children and employees the following day. Employees who test positive for the substance might be at risk of losing their jobs. This has become the subject of heated debates, and advocacy groups for the legalization of marijuana argue against the unfairness of letting go of employees merely on the basis that they are marijuana users. This is especially so in states where marijuana use is legal. According to the outreach of the director of National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, a legal advocacy group, even though marijuana is legal and readily available in several states, consumers are being unfairly forced to choose between their job and smoking off the clock because of absolute employment practices. On the other hand, it is the debate. Legitimate reasons exist for the policy. It is also commemorated as National Pet CBD Day in US, celebrated on every April 21st to raise awareness about the beneficial properties of cannabidiol and the lives of pets has improved over the years. Cannabis has been used in medicine since 2737 BC. Cannabidiol, also known as CBD, is a phytocannabinoid found in cannabis plants. It does not contain tetrahydrocannabinol, the compound that produces a high when marijuana is consumed in CBD. Cannabidiol is compound commonly found in cannabis plants while its research in both hemp and marijuana, CBD is mostly extracted from hemp due to its legal status. The first documented use of the cannabis plant is medicine that can be traced back to 2737 BC. In ancient China, the Chinese emperor Sheng Neng infused cannabis into cups of tea to treat several illnesses, including malaria, rheumatism, and gout, and then there is also commemorated as National Kindergarten Day in US. April 21st is the birthday of German educator Frederick Frobel, who founded the first party play and activity institute called Kindergarten in 1837. Kindergarten's actually a mid-19th century German word literally meaning children's garden, but you already know. According to Frobel, young children should follow their own interests and freely explore. That's why kindergarten includes singing, dancing, and creative. Today is also commemorated as National Chocolate Covered Cashews Day in US on April 21st to help you celebrate the day amazingly. It has been almost 600 years since cashews were first discovered. Chocolate is something we all love, and one of the ways make it even better to add yet another thing was absolutely adore cashews. Although chocolate is enjoyed with a variety of options of nuts like peanuts, almonds, apricots, National Chocolate Covered Cashew Day is dedicated to the pleasing combination of chocolate with cashews and celebrate these treats that are enjoyed by people of all ages. It is also commemorated as National Chickpea Day in US, which is observed on every April 21st in the US. The purpose of this day is to celebrate the amazing legume, the chickpea. Chickpeas can be eaten in the morning, afternoon, and at night. You can eat chickpeas whenever you want. A key ingredient in the Mediterranean and Middle Eastern food science is chickpea. It is used in hummus and falafel, two typical chickpeas diseases. It also important. The word chickpeas comes from the French chiche and Latin caesar. The word chickpea was found in the English print in 1338, which was later cited by mid 18th century dictionaries in 1548, and the Oxford English Dictionary noted. There is also commemorated as Please Keep Off the Grass Day on April 21st every year, created by a woman named Jace Shoemaker Galloway. This day has been observed since 2013. Keep Off the Grass signs have often been used by people to prevent their laws from being trampled and to prevent trespassing. Grass has been maintained and is used for decorative protective purposes since the Middle Ages, especially in Europe, where they featured around castles and wealthy homes. Today, many homes in America maintain lush green lawns for decorative purposes. There is also commemorated as International Hemp Day, which is celebrated on April 21st to appreciate the benefits of hemp and what it has offered to us. Hemp has been used in manufacturing clothes, ropes, shoes, and paper as far as the 5th millennium BC. Hemp, also known as industrial hemp, is a cannabis plant. It is also commemorated as Big Bird Day in US, which takes place on April 21st every year. Bird Day is all about birds specifically coming up with the new large tools to keep the English language alive and well. Every language on the planet has a lexicon which made up of words. Through speech, people have created and polished words over time. We tend to use short words when communicating so we can convey more meaning with fewer words. Big Word Day is exactly what World Day means. It is also commemorated as Advisor Appreciation Day in US. Which is an annual observance to celebrate the role of advisors and education sector. The education system of the US has been in use since 1700s. It aims to appreciate the work of education advisors. Education advisors are academic counselors or consultants for students going to or in college. They help students The system of academic advising has been around ever since the establishment of educational agencies in America. It is believed that the system of counseling came from the methodology used in British education establishments like Cambridge and Oxford. In this system, emphasis was not only made on academics, but also on students' character development as well. The first change between the English and American systems came during America's War of Independence. American colleges believed that the students were free thinkers and should be up to them how they want to develop. During World War I, the emphasis on the churning out all-rounded men became relevant again as the United States Army recruited soldiers based on their skills. In the 1920s, the progressive education movement took place, which aimed to provide a more holistic learning environment. The student personal point of view was published in 1937. In the 1960s and 70s, the issue of overall development of the student was of prime importance. Today, the advisory system in the education continues to grow and contribute to the development of students, both in and out of classroom. The advisors provide academic assistance, help find jobs for students needing fees, and teach the students good study habits and time management. And student advisors require a day to celebrate them because they are very invested in the clients. They are unsung heroes of the college world. It is also commemorated as World Creativity and Innovation Day on 21st April every year. So there are no universal understanding of creativity. The concept is open to interpretation from artistic expression to problem solving in the context of economic, social, and sustainable development. Therefore, the United Nations designated 21st April as the World Creativity and Innovation Day to raise awareness of the role of creativity and innovation in all aspects of human development. Creativity shows who we are and what we value. It helps build a rich mix of cultures and support social and economic growth. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, following the 2005 Common Convention, helps countries strengthen their creative industries and promote artistic freedom. The creative economy too has no single definition. It is an evolving concept which builds on the interplay between human creativity and ideas and intellectual property. Knowledge and technology, essentially, it is knowledge-based economic activities upon which the creative industries are based. Creative industries, which include audiovisual products, design, new media, performing arts, publishing, and visual arts, are highly transformative sector of the world economy in terms of income generation, job creation, and export earnings. Culture is an essential component of sustainable development and represents a source of identity, innovation, creativity for the individual and community. At the same time, creativity and culture has a significant non-monetary value that contributes to the inclusive social development, to dialogue and understand between peoples. Today, the creative industries are among the most dynamic areas in the world economy, providing new opportunities for developing countries to leapfrog into emerging high growth areas of the world economy. On the World Creativity and Innovation Day, the world is invited to embrace the idea that innovation is essential for harnessing the economic potential growth of nations. Innovation, creativity, and mass entrepreneurship can provide new momentum towards achieving the sustainable goals. SDGs, it can harness economic growth and job creation while expanding opportunities for everyone, including women and youth. It can provide solutions to some of the most pressing problems, such as poverty eradication and the elimination of hunger, human creativity, and innovation at both the individual and group levels have become the true wealth of the nations in the 21st century. So the UNESCO Creative Cities Network, UCCN, seeks to promote cooperation with among cities that have identified creativity as a strategic factor for sustainable urban development. Almost 300 cities around the world work together towards a common objective, placing creativity and cultural industries at the heart of their development plans. In July 2024, UNESCO Creative Cities adopted for Braga Manifesto. This initiative called for joint efforts to recognize culture as an important goal. It aims to guide the Pact of the Future 2024 and the development plans beyond 2030. The manifesto highlights the crucial role cities play in promoting creative cultural policies and making culture as a core part of future urban development plans. Following the rise of artificial intelligence tools and their use in different stages of film and television production, creative communities are experiencing a period of great uncertainty. In Paris, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, hosted an event called Film Sector on the Front Lines, inviting global experts to discuss the powerful impact of AI. Award-winning visual effects artist Yoni Muidi talks about the threats that artificial intelligence can pose to the creative industries. Culture and creativity account for 3.1% of global gross domestic product, GDP, and 6.2% of all employment. Exports of cultural goods and services doubled in value from 2005 to reach US dollars 389.1 billion in 2019. Besides being one of the youngest and fastest growing economic sectors in the world, new and ongoing challenges also make the creative economy one of the most vulnerable sections that is often overlooked by public and private investment. The 2022 UNESCO report, Reshaping Policies for Creativity Addressing Culture as a Global Public Good, offers insightful new data that shed light on emerging trends at a global level, as well as putting forward the policy recommendations to foster creative ecosystems that contribute to sustainable world by 2030 and beyond. So achieving the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the 17 SDGs, the most ambitious development agenda in human history, requires both creativity and innovation. Green technologies, those used to produce goods and services with smaller carbon footprints, are growing and providing increasing economic opportunities, but developing countries could miss them without decisive action. Though its Technology and Innovation Report 2023, UNCTAD calls on governments to align environmental science, technology, innovation, and industrial policies. This week is also commemorated as Active School Week in Ireland from April 21st to 25th, which takes place in the final working week of April to promote incentive and support physical activities in school. This week helps to transform the kids' relationship with athletics. Each day of the week is filled with exercises and fun excursions that inculcate a positive relationship between students and physical exercise. Active School Week is the initiative of the Active School Flag, Ireland's premium health initiative, which was focused on enhancing physical activity in school going children since 2009. Fully committed school hours packed with lessons, homework, and extra classes are what the standard school week looks like for a student. In Ireland, this schedule hinders their goal of getting 60 minutes of physical activity every day. Kids are evolving from this kind of schedule and find it extra hard to inculcate physical activities in adulthood as well. Active School Flag promotes the physical activity of school going children between the ages of 5 to 18 years. In operation since 2009, Active School Flag now reaches 670 plus schools across Ireland. The program is supported to the department by the Department of Health and Department of Education through its annual school week. It promotes the importance of exercise and outdoor activities in all primary, post-primary, youth reach, and special needs education schools in Ireland. So research supports that children with an active and exuberant lifestyle find it easier to concentrate and excel in coursework. Active School Week supports teachers by coming up with challenging and creative ways to get more physically active during weeks. The program includes a variety of cross-curricular physical activities that energize indoor and outdoor learning. Active School Week also includes indoor activities that break up sedentary time in between classes to restore focus and reignite all senses of body. All activities are planned with sustainability and participation in mind. There are no medals for trophies, only the spirit of being active in the sake of kids' mind, body, and soul. Schools across Ireland observe this week with immense joy and line up their calendars with events, games, and so much more. This week is also commemorated as Allergy Awareness Week from April 21st to 25. In UK, United Kingdom, Health Focused Week, Allergy Awareness Week was created by Allergy UK and is observed annually in a week determined by the charity. This year it takes place from April 21st to 25th. This week is all about raising awareness about allergies and offering help and support to those living with allergic conditions. So allergies are very much real and affect more people than we may think. It might be a minute as a minor rash or a severe as a complete immune system shutdown. But either way, allergies are an essential health topic and should be treated as such. If you have heard the saying, one man's food is another man's poison, then you may already have understood the concept of allergies. There are several things that we encounter daily without reaction that could stir up allergies in other people. It could be the water we drink, the food we eat, or even the stuffed animals we have living around. It boils down to the difference in our DNA and genetic makeup. Simply put, allergies are conditions triggered by a sensitivity of the immune system to substances in an environment that would ordinarily be considered harmless. Often, people suffering from allergic conditions do not realize it until they experience their first reaction. These reactions come with symptoms like rashes, red eyes, shortness of breath, and even swelling. Allergies develop due to genetic makeup, hereditary factors, and environmental conditions. Allergic reactions are caused by the binding of the immune system's antibodies to the allergen and then to a receptor which triggers the release of inflammatory chemicals. The term allergy appeared in the 1990s and was coined from the Greek words elos, which means other, and ergon, which means work. Since then, several classifications and diagnostic methods have been applied to distinguish various allergies. Allergies are common among over 50% of the worldwide population living with an allergy. Allergy UK, British charity, established Allergy Awareness Week. It focuses on raising awareness for children and adults living with allergens, raising funds and offering resources. to support allergy victims. This week is also commemorated as Animal Cruelty Human Violence Awareness Week from April 21st to 27th. Animal Cruelty Human Violence Awareness Week is observed during the third full week in April every year in the United Kingdom. This year it takes place from April 21st to 27th. The purpose of this week is to bring the light in inhumane acts of animal abuse and violence towards humans, and the connection that the two can have. Both of these acts are unwarranted and unacceptable in any way. And this week initiates much needed conversation around the same. Animal cruelty and human violence are horrendous acts with a connection that can often go unnoticed. Looking back at history, there is plethora of archaeological evidence that has been considered for the study of violence and cruelty. There have been many proposed theories attributing to the origin of violent acts to archaeological remains found of humans and animal skeletons. However, none have been concrete enough to confirm a time of origin. The remains were only suggestive of individual acts, incidents, and could not be used to generalize the time period. What we do know, however, is that evidence of prehistoric acts of violence is minimal compared to the geographical area and population at that time. This helps us determine that our DNA is not predisposed to violence. Instead, acts of violence are a result of historic and social factors, are a product of society and culture as a whole. The silver lining to this unfortunate act is that this means that we are, as a society, can also be changed and collectively put an end to inhumane acts. So behaviors of cruelty and violence against neither animals nor humans are right or justified in any way. Studies show that domestic abusers are more likely to target pets for animal cruelty. Domestic and child abusers exhibit violent tendencies that are indicative of their capacity and inclination towards also being animal abusers. Violence is never the answer to anything, and there must be a change brought to an end these horrific acts that are unfortunately still quite common in our society. Animal Cruelty Human Violence Awareness Week intends to bring members of society together to join hands against these acts and move towards a better tomorrow. Today is also commemorated as this week as Every Kid Healthy Week from April 21st to 25th in US. Is an observance that aims to spread awareness regarding the health of the children. This is essential because to grow up into healthy adults is important for kids to be healthy, active from young age. To ensure parents and children are aware of the advantages of nutrition and wellness, Every Kid Healthy Week is celebrated every year. We have the right tips on how you can celebrate and make the week memorable. Today is also commemorated as International Day Sky Week, Dark Sky Week. Every year during the week of the new moon in April, and this year it will be observed from April 21st to 27th. It's a week to switch off the lights in the evening and marvel at the infinite grandeur of the night sky. The universe is a visual extravaganza for the eyes, and we can observe its beauty during the night. However, due to light pollution, we are not able to observe more than some stars. In 2003, high school students Jennifer Barlow of Midlothian, Virginia, felt disturbed that she could not observe the beauty of night sky, and it started this way. This week is also commemorated as National Freelance Business Week from 21st to 27th in US, which takes place during the third week of April. This year it takes place from April 21st to 27th. While freelance business are run independently, there is still power in unity and a sense of community to keep moving onwards and upwards. This week brings together freelance business and owners to exchange thoughts and ideas, ask and answer questions, and feel like part of bigger community. This week is also commemorated as National Infant Immunization Week in US. National Infant Immunization Week is from April 21st to 28th in the United States. In 2019, 14 million infants were not reached by vaccination services. National Infant Immunization Week is observed annually and highlights the need for protecting children of ages 2 years under from vaccine preventable diseases. Every year, National Infant Immunization Week is observed to protect small children from vaccine preventable diseases. It is an essential to make sure that the families stay on track with their children's vaccination. The first National Infant Immunization Week, NIIW, was observed in 1994 with the support of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. NIIW was created to increase the profile of infant immunization program in the United States. Immunization saves millions of lives every year, but still there are more than 19 million under-vaccinated people. National Infant Immunization Week promotes immunization programs and increases awareness thereof. Today is also commemorated as National MS Week in UK, United Kingdom. MS Awareness Week is observed annually on the date specified of the National MS Society. And this year it takes place from April 21st to 27th. It's all about raising awareness for the most common immune disorder affecting mankind, multiple sclerosis. The condition affects millions of people worldwide and has been amongst us for over a century. The National MS Society established this week not only to help raise awareness of the condition, but also to provide resources to those affected by it. During this week, millions of people joined several talks, events, organizations, and so on with the hope of gaining knowledge on the disorder to help themselves or others around them. Multiple sclerosis is the most common immune system disorder that affects the central nervous system, affecting over 2 million people worldwide. Common as it may seem, several people are still clueless about this disorder, its symptoms, and generally how it affects the human body. If you are one of those people, know more about it. Multiple sclerosis is demyelinating disease that affects the brain and spinal cord due to damages caused to insulating covers. These damages can disrupt the free flow of signals through the nervous system, which can lead to a variety of problems, physical, mental, or psychiatric. MS can occur in isolated attacks or can build into progressive forms. Some symptoms of this condition may include partial blindness, sensation, and coordination issues, and weakening of the muscles. The condition was first officially diagnosed as a distinct disease by a French neurologist in the late 1800s, and since the 20th century, there has been a deal of progress in the diagnosis and treatments of MS. Although there is no certain cause of treatment of MS, diagnosed individuals may undergo physical and occupational therapy to improve motor function. There are also medications and certain alternative treatments that help to improve function after an attack. And to prevent new attacks, the National MS Society created MS Awareness Week to raise awareness for this condition, as well as give affected individuals the platform to tell their stories. They hold different events to promote the cause, and it is observed annually on a week that it is determined by the organization. There is also commemorated as National Playground Safety Week in US, which is observed annually on the last week of April. This year it is held from April 21st to 24th, as it highlights the importance of responsible play. A playground is a place usually outdoors, specially built to give kids a space to have fun together with other children in the neighborhood. Recreation areas can also be enjoyed by adults. However, equipment is more for fitness purposes. Playgrounds come with hazards and risks, so it is important to consider safety, which is why National Program for Playground Safety, NPPS established National Playground Safety Week as a time to focus on children's outdoor play environments and show gratitude for those effectively maintained playgrounds. The history of playgrounds goes back to the 19th century when developmental psychologists like Friedrich Frobel came up with the idea of recreational area as a developmental tool that instills children with a sense of fair play and good manners. Playgrounds in Germany were built for childhood development, but for the first purpose built recreational area open to public was in Manchester, England in 1859. In the 20th century, as more vehicles rode the streets, it wasn't safe for children to play in the lanes near their homes anymore. Thus, designated play areas were built to protect kids from the dangers of the road and into secured areas instead. In the post war London, Lady Alien of Hertford brought in and made famous the concept of Jeng Playground. In a Jeng Playground, the equipment is constructed from recycled material and rubble. Lady Ellen campaigned to build facilities for kids living in the new high rise developments in Britain's cities. She also penned a series of illustrated books on the subject of playgrounds and at least one book on spaces for creativity by children. Today, after many years of research and individual testimonies, we have seen how playgrounds provide educational value and enhance physical health. Today is also commemorated as National Work Zone Awareness Week in US, which is held every year from April 21st to 25th this year to shine a much deserved spotlight on how we are all equally responsible for maintaining work zone safety. So let's support this event by learning about the importance of practicing extra caution while moving through construction zones and paying attention to the motorist and worker safety. Around 24 years ago, Virginia's Department of Transportation came up with a plan to raise work zone safety awareness internally. They launched a public awareness campaign the very next year, and within 2 years, their plan had attracted the attention of American Traffic Safety Services Association, the American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials, and the Federal Highway Administration, all of whom partnered with Virginia's Department of Transportation to establish National Work Zone Awareness Week, coordinating and sponsoring events to raise awareness about the public campaign. Soon they were joined by various transportation partners like the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, National Highways Traffic Safety Administration, Occupational Safety and Health Administration, Virginia Department of Transportation, Maryland State Highway Administration, DC Department of Transportation, Association General Contractors, and American Road and Transportation Builders, and more. This increased exposure resulted in multiple national events being hosted, and they have large support from various individuals and organizations who have been impacted by work zone safety each year. Today is also commemorated as Preservation Week from April 21st to 25th in US. Preservation Week is observed annually in the first week of April. This year it will be marked from April 21st to 25th. It's a national campaign to help boost awareness of collecting written material and artifacts and their preservation. Preservation Week acquaints the general public with conservation expertise and information connecting individuals, families, and communities. The public collections, the Society of American Archivists, the Library of Congress, the American Library Association, the Institute of Museum and Library Services, and several other heritage organizations endorse and observe Preservation Week. The first instance of Preservation Week took place in 2010. It was organized by the American Library Association, ALA, the aim of which was to highlight the importance of preserving cultural heritage materials. The conservation of books and documents involve preserving materials such as paper and link in effort to maintain the information contained in the conservation includes techniques such as bookbinding, restoration, paper chemistry, and other material technologies and ensure preservation of archives. Around 750 BC, the Old Testament prophets Isaiah and Jeremiah emphasized the importance of conserving documents to be used in the future years. After that, in 1627, Gabriel Nord published Albus Podresser Uni Biblioteo, which included a chapter discussing book preservation. An all-inclusive national survey was conducted in 2005 on the preservation needs of the US written material and artifact collections. The study noted that American institutions hold more than 4.8 billion items. Libraries alone hold 3 billion, about 63% of total. The rest is held by individuals, communities, and families. These collections constitute prints, reports, books, photographs, and drawings, and objects such as maps, textiles, paintings, scriptures, decorative arts, and furniture. Sound recordings and moving images of performing arts and oral history also qualify as heritage items today. This week is also commemorated as World Laboratory Animal Liberation Week from April 21st to 27th in US, which falls during the week that surrounds April 24th each year. Laboratory animals are typically subjected to a variety of treatments by scientists, resulting in millions of animals suffering and dying each year. Although improved procedures are being introduced into laboratories to replace animal testing, some antiquated laws still require animal testing before a product may be introduced to the market. This week raises awareness about the brutality that animals face in laboratories and persuades the government to fund advanced research and advanced experimental procedures that are more relevant to humans and safer for animals. The Institute of World Day for Laboratory Animals was founded in 1979, while the Associated Animal Laboratory Week was founded on April 20, 2020, and they both had driving force behind the movement. Toxicology testing became more popular in 20th century. Drug regulations were relatively relaxed. In the 19th century, in the United States, for example, the government could ban a drug only after it has prosecuted a company for selling the same drugs that harmed its users. However, in reaction to the 1937 Ixley sulfamilamide catastrophe, in which the eponymous medicine killed over 100 people, the United States Congress created regulations requiring drug safety testing on animals first before they could be commercialized. Today is also commemorated as National Public Relations Day. April 21st is a red letter day in the history of Indian public relations. It's because the National Public Relations Day is celebrated on this day all over the country since 1986. The first All India Public Relations Conference was organized in Delhi on April 21st, 1968. The theme of the conference was professional approach. This was a very significant public relations meet in our country when a professional approach was given to the public relations, a change from publicity, press agentry, information, besides adopting a code of ethics for PR profession. In fact, that was the beginning of professional public relations in India. Since then, PRSI had 26 All India PR conferences, including the 9th PR World Congress in Bombay in 1982 and the first Asia Pacific PR meet in Kolkata during January 1998, an international public relations conference at Bangalore in 2002. The objective behind designating April 21st as a National Public Relations Day is to focus attention on public relations function and public relations professionals in India who have an increasingly important role in the development of the country. Specific theme for the day is identified to organize events to highlight the issues selected in the theme. Public relations is a culmination of creativity and intellect. Throughout history, various figures have played the role of early public relation managers. As we have seen, Narad Muni, Bhadra, and Lord Krishna facilitated communication, advised rulers, and maintained peace and prosperity among their subjects. With the time, the PR industry became more dynamic and has evolved from traditional journalistic influence to the rise of social media and several emerging trends in the history. However, it's got its rightful place in India in 1958. Every year on April 21st, we celebrate National Public Relations Day by holding conferences, sharing stories, and recognizing emerging contributions to the industry. However, many of us may not be aware of the industry's roots, including its historic implementation, the first encounter, and most importantly, the founding fathers. National PR Day provides an opportunity to recognize the vital role public relations and communications play in our world. While it is essential to move forward and think ahead, it's equally important to look back and honor those who blazed the trail of public relations and never look back since then. So this year, Let's acknowledge the Jains whose shoulders we stand on, the unsung heroes who shaped the dynamic public relations industry. We'll honor their groundbreaking ideas and challenges they faced and the lasting impact they had on ever-evolving world of communications. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us and see you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form before leaving the platform.